Yeah, time to do some dumb shit.
Tgan! I do this shit for the love of the game.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Yo, 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 yo. What is up, all my game and friendulums? Tgan Live is here, and I'm back. Apologies for last weekend, or not. I was at the Calgary... There you go, I gotta fix that. I was at the Calgary Comic Expo, so... I was having fun with that all weekend. So there, got 2 weeks of news to catch up on in the worlds of game adaptations, and it's been a pretty busy 2 weeks. So here I am back with episode 14 of Tgan Live, and as you can see, I've moved the camera around again, trying out new different angles. I've moved my computer to a different part of my apartment, and I love the new area I put it in. It just feels nicer. I'm right next to the balcony, so the light coming in is natural light, and there's going to be some city noise in the background. You might hear an alarm, or you might hear fucking, you know what to say, police. Suddenly I don't know what the word I'm trying to say is. Sirens, yeah. You might hear that kind of stuff. You might hear a crackhead yelling at each other in the alley. Because I live in the hood. I live in the hood, y'all. But yeah, if you're new in the chat, I mean, there's other live shows on right now that I'm competing with, shows that I would normally watch if I wasn't here. But shout out to Ray Ray. So what do I have today on the docket? Well, the first Mortal Kombat 2 reviews are trickling in from news media, and the reviews are looking really good. I've seen the word overwhelmingly positive, but I haven't dug deeper into that yet. I want to actually look at some of the reviews to see how they're saying. I don't want to read too much because I don't want to spoil it for myself, even though I've basically already spoiled the entire movie for myself. Also, check out my new shirt I got at the expo. A Fallout shirt to match my Fallout hat. Boom! Also, they released the Resident Evil trailer that they had at CinemaCon 2 weeks ago, so we'll take a little gander at that, though there's not a whole lot going on in it, but there's a pretty decent amount of news. I have them all already tabbed on my browser for like just to go to. Going back over to here, Legend of Zelda has finished filming. That's my channel. Resident Evil, Adamfall. This is pretty random. They announced an Adamfall TV show, so we'll dig into that because that game is new and pretty weird. So, well, here's an article I might look at for Games Radar that talks about all the adaptations coming out. So maybe there's something there that I missed that I don't know about. Battlefield movie announced with Michael B. Jordan, and one of the Claire Obscure voice actors said some potentially controversial things about adaptations, but I think it was kind of taken out of context. But where do I begin? Let's see. Why won't joints just stay lit forever? I mean cigarettes. Okay, over here, if you look at the MK, there's nothing on here yet. Yeah, there's no actual review scores on here yet. I already checked Rotten Tomatoes. It's almost 2 hours. I didn't notice that. But popularity is doing pretty good on the popularity meter. 18 in the top 40. Michael's number 1. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Malty Supreme. Anywho's. Yeah, I wanted to look at the Mortal Kombat 2 reviews. What do we have? Mortal Kombat 2 movie reviews. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have anything yet either. They're just nothing, not even new. But I mean, if you were to read a AI kind of synopsis of all the results, it's saying that Mortal Kombat 2 has received overwhelmingly positive early reviews. I knew that it was going to be a stark improvement. I could just tell it was going to be way better than the first 2021 one. Stark improvement and flawless victory. The film, directed by Simon McQuaid, is praised for finally including the iconic Mortal Kombat tournament. Yeah, I mean, they had it in the very, very first 95 movie, the tournament idea, but that movie was PG. You can't make a PG Mortal Kombat movie. You just can't do it. It should be illegal. Key highlights from initial reactions: improved action and tone. Reviewers described the movie as fun, fast-paced, and ridiculous bloodbath, with slick, brutal fight choreography, nastier fatalities, and a campier, more faithful embrace of the video game spirit. Character shifts. The sequel shifts focus from the original film's protagonist to Johnny Cage and Katana. Yeah, see, I knew they were focusing more on Katana, though. It was kind of random because, I mean, she's not in the last movie, but then they're going to put her in the sequel and then make her one of the main characters. It's a little unusual, but it clearly seemed to have worked. So I guess it's a dual protagonist with Johnny Cage and Katana. Johnny Cage, of course, Carl Urban, who doesn't love Carl Urban. But then you have Adeline Rudolph, who I've never heard of in anything else ever. But it's saying they're widely cited as the heart and coolest heroine of the franchise. Well, Katana is only like not good in every version of the Mortal Kombat world. She's kind of all over the place. Fan reception. Early announcers expressed high satisfaction, with some comparing the excitement to Avengers Endgame screenings, while noting that the film effectively addresses previous criticisms regarding plot and character development. Minor criticisms. A few critics noted the story's paper thin or bare bones, as some fan expressed concern but the sidelining of other characters or the age of the lead actor. Really, the age of Johnny Cage, of Carl Urban? Why would that be a criticism? But here on Reddit, somebody who I guess won some passes to a screening, so somebody got to see an actual, I'm going to join this Reddit, this Mortal Kombat Reddit. I was lucky enough to win passes to an advanced screening of the movie, and here are my thoughts. MK2 is a bloody, relentless thrill ride that topped its predecessors in every way. I don't know, this guy is writing this like he's just like a robot. The action was slick, brutal, and the writers did well to balance characters. Shao Kahn does have that final boss aura that was missing from MK Annihilation, and was especially emphasized here by the audio. Every step he takes is punctuated by rumbling bass. Katana's story was a pleasant surprise. He tends to consider her, or she, a relatively bland character from the games. Melina fanboy. I like Melina better too, I think. Her ferocity in the games, her ferocity proved her worthy of being one of the primary protagonists. I especially love the way epic battles kicked up the adrenaline by using the sound cues the fans of the franchise will recognize, amplifying the adrenaline. I got goosebumps. Johnny Cage and Baraka were excellent additions to the cast. The writers have restored my faith in their ability to deliver characterization, humor, and camp alongside the lore that defines the Mortal Kombat series. I want more. So Quantum Devil Saga over on Reddit saw an advanced screening, and people are giving it a 7. What are they, IGN? Everyone gotta stop giving things a 7. I don't know. This guy's talking like Brock is in it longer. Like, I figured he's only in it in that one scene where him and Johnny Cage fight. So I don't know how much more he will be in past that one moment. So yeah, positive reviews all around for the Mortal Kombat movie, which is great. It's coming out next week. I don't know if I'm going to just see it in the opening weekend or not, but This guy is posting like. Does this guy have an actual scene from the movie in it? I'm not gonna watch it if he does. This guy looks like he might be spoiling something. I don't know who this guy is. He looks like fucking. I don't know. The cool transitions though. Got the MK2 transitions. What's Slash Film saying? April 28th. It's the question that was on everyone's mind watching 2021's a live-action adaptation of the touchstone fantasy fighting game that makes the bold choice of not actually including the martial arts competition. Rest assured, although this year's Mortal Kombat 2 doesn't repeat that mistake. Milquetoast. That's a good way to describe Cole Young's character from the first movie. Indeed, Slash Films' Bill Bria sums up the initial consensus for Mortal Kombat 2 nicely with his post on Twitter calling it the movie to best capture the full spirit of the games so far. Writing that Urban Cage is a savvy ode to the 90s action star, he also described Adina Rudolph's katana as the coolest heroine in the franchise. But what does he mean by that though? Like the movie franchise or the entire Mortal Kombat franchise? Which is a somewhat surprisingly but certain welcome common refrain amongst the first wave of social media reactions. I was like this scene with Katana and Johnny. I knew that it wasn't a real fight to the death. It was Katana testing Johnny's skills. But I don't think Johnny knew that. Johnny was like, alright, who the hell is this chick and why does she want to kill me? Johnny's like, I want a Saturn Award. Which is what he actually said. Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it to the first one a lot. And I'm like, yeah, we know. It's going to be better than the first one. I knows it. Besides lacking the titular 2021 Mortal Kombat, makes the confounding decision to cast several skilled martial artists only to saddle them. Wait, I should just double check. Make sure I have sound. Just in case. Maybe I... Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it to the first one a lot. Okay, good. I just gotta double check on another machine to make sure it's okay. Comic Books Chris Killian echoed that sentiment, writing that the movie has better fights, cooler costumes, and nastier fatalities. Elsewhere, digital creator Blu-ray Angel wrote that the sequel is an immense upgrade from the first movie and agreed that Katana was a smart choice to have her as the heart of the film. By comparison, seasoned reporter Jermaine Lussier is a bit more measured in his praise, writing that Mortal Kombat 2 has a bare-bones story, but it works. While podcaster Shabazz felt that the movie pulls its punches where it matters most. I don't know who Shabazz is. Between the improved action and an unexpected, satisfying story for Katana, which critic Hunter Bolding was similarly struck by, and again, the actual Mortal Kombat tournament being part of the plot this time around, is clearer now why Warner Brothers decided that Mortal Kombat 2 is good enough to warrant a prime summer season release. Yeah, we know. They delayed it from October to May, but I hope that results in a better box office for them, because I want this movie to be successful. The last one was mediocre, and it was successful enough for a sequel, so Even if this one isn't a smash hit, it could still have a Mortal Kombat 3. So that's nice to see. I can't wait to actually review it myself. I'm excited to actually review MK2 myself. I might try to see it next weekend, but I don't know why I like smoking on my lives. I don't know if maybe it's bad. Alright, over here. This is 2-week-old news. And I kind of touched on it already, but Legend of Zelda Action Movie has officially wrapped filming over here on Nintendo Life. Maybe I already read this on my show 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. It's already May now. April the 18th. I don't know. Maybe I did because my show before the last one was. Although most of the focus has been on the Mario Galaxy, we got some big news today. The Legend of Zelda live action film, according to an update at CinemaCon. Sony Pictures has announced filming for Nintendo's new movie has now officially wrapped. This follows an update in November last year when it confirmed that the movie was in production in New Zealand, aka the land of the Lord of the Rings movie trailer. The Zelda movie is currently scheduled for a global release on May 7th, 2027. Nintendo is co-funding the movie alongside Sony Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto and Wes Balls as a director. The film will also be streamed exclusively on Netflix. Yeah, I feel like I have already read this out loud. Just looking at the comments. Would have preferred something animated. I don't know. Maybe they could still do one. I don't see why they don't do an animated one as well. Like I still don't get the Smash Bros thing that I clearly think they're doing. Oh, is this a new article over here? Cool. What's this? Oh, this is like pretty new. Seems to be pretty new news, so that's good. It doesn't even have a date on it yet. Does that mean it's that brand new? This is like new news, I think. So cool. I got some breaking news here. The live action Legend of Zelda is due in cinemas May 7th, 2027, as now officially revealed as part of IMAX's blockbuster slate. So IMAX releases their own slate. This update was shared on IMAX's Q1 corporate earnings conference call. As you can see in the official slide, the Sony Pictures release will be joined in IMAX theaters by various other major franchises. IMAX notes in the fine print that this release slated display reflects the current studio scheduling as the 30th of April 2026. It's not a very long article. Yeah, that's old, so I'm just like... Yeah, there isn't a whole lot to report other than that. So it's coming out in May next year in IMAX. What else we got though? Children of Blood and Bone. Don't know what that is. Star Wars 50th anniversary. What exactly does that mean? Thomas Crown Affair. Who cares? But what does this mean though? Are they gonna release some type of special movie or a documentary? Godzilla. I'm sure they're working on something. A documentary or something for like the 50th. Godzilla times Kong, Supernova, Panic Carefully, don't know what that is. Star Wars Starfighter. How to Train Your Dragon 2. Huh? Actually, they took the animated and made it live action. Ooh, the Batman Part 2. Can't wait for that one. I'm excited for that one. Shrek 5. Is that supposed to be another Superman movie? That's gonna suck. Minecraft sequel, that could be funny. The Mummy, interesting. Avengers Secret Wars. So there you have it. Breaking news. Cool. I'm getting some more news over here. What's this? April 26th. The Mario Galaxy movie digital release might be coming sooner than we expected. Despite putting up a staggering run at the box office, it looks like Super Mario Galaxy movie might be headed for a video-on-demand release quicker than the predecessor. As reported by Win to Stream, the Mario Galaxy movie will apparently arrive as a paid stream on May 5th. A mere 5 weekends since it launched in cinemas beginning of April. While the outlet is often accurate with its release information, neither Universal nor Nintendo has made it official. The window fits within Universal's new 5-week theatrical exclusivity promise, though the Super Mario Bros. Movie hung around exclusivity in cinemas for 6 weeks back in 2023. Yeah, I'm not gonna get this one. I don't know. I actually bought the last one. The Mario Galaxy has surpassed 747 million, pushing the two films' total films across the 2 billion. Yeah, but the first one made like a 1 point something billion. And like this one's not at 1 billion now. I'm actually surprised. I figured it would be at 1 billion by now. It's not as good as the first one at all though. The first one's way better. Super Mario Galaxy released to fairly middling reviews, with many critics in agreement that it felt overblown with references that ultimately struggled to make up for the lackluster story. In an interview with NDW, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto expressed his surprise at the critical response, describing it as odd. Although he understood the sentiments toward the original, he thought that the sequel would be better received. No, it's not as good. Regarding the critics' reviews of the first film, I remember thinking they have a point, but I figured this time would be different, only to find that they were even harsher than last time, which I found rather odd. We stepped in from another medium and did our best to help energize the film industry, and yet the very people who are supposed... I don't know, I don't agree with Miyamoto right there. It's like, you don't understand how film reviews work. Like, they're not being negative intentionally. They're reviewing the movie and they didn't give it the best review. Yeah, I don't know. That's almost like, is the translation off because it's Japanese to English? The very people who are supposed to champion the film industry, that's a silly thing to say. Like, yeah, you want the films to work, then don't review them badly. Well, then, if a movie comes out and it gets bad reviews, that's what happens. I mean, I'm on the reviewer side on that one. That's a dumb thing for Miyamoto to say, to be honest. Actually, it's very naive. That's what it is. It's Miyamoto being so naive to thinking that everyone would just love it because it's Mario or something. That's what's striking me. Yeah, super defensive. Implication being that critics are somehow meant to champion the movie rather than analyze it. Yeah, exactly what I just said. Just like, way more succinct. There's like random stuff coming up about the Mario movie now that I'm seeing, but good. This show today is just going to be as long as it is. If it goes over 2 hours, I always shoot for 2. If it goes over than that, I don't really care today. That's just a weird thing for Miyamoto to say. It just sounds so naive and like a little what's the word? Petulant? I don't know. Just being like, oh, they didn't love my movie, so screw them. That's basically what he's saying. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that the Galaxy movie hasn't made $1 billion yet. I figured it would regardless. My new. Everything's still figuring out what the best camera angle is. I had it over here. Then I put it back in front of my monitor again. So, yeah. At the Comic Expo last weekend, I was trying to find something to put on my wall behind me to make my streams look cooler, but not that it matters. No one's watching. Everyone's watching me. I don't know, that's too loud. I like having music in the background. Find something to put on my wall behind. Boop. So how y'all doing? Just kidding, no one's watching. Alright, I want to take a look at the new Resident Evil trailer. This is an article from just today, but all about the latest adaptation. I don't think there's anything more to know just yet. The teaser came out. Austin Abrams is starring. Zach Krager wrote and directed. It's coming out in September. Yeah, I just want to look at the footage. Resident Evil trailer. I'll turn this down. Alright, I'm going to play through the trailer just once. But I want to always play it from the actual proper... Yeah, there we go.
Hello? I had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone. Hello?
Yes, we're sorry.
Babe, look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but, some things have, happened.
Noble Bull, what's up? As always, thanks for being here. I'm looking at the new Resident Evil teaser. What's going on with you?
I'm in, like, a seriously fucked up situation right now. And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again. I just wanted you to know. I love you.
That looks exactly like what a Resident Evil movie should have always been. I only ever watched the first Mila Jovovich film, and it was okay, but even that didn't feel like Resident Evil. And all the ones after that, I never watched them, but they just seemed to not really have the core of Resident Evil. And this looks like it's exactly what Resident Evil is. You're completely alone, you're isolated, you look for anything you could find in drawers. You walk into weird, strange houses for no reason. You find a weapon and use it. Like, that's exactly what Resident Evil is, and that's what it should have always been. So yeah, this looks great. Like, I'm excited for this one too. Like, this is turning out to be a really great year for game adaptations again. Like, maybe even one of the better years that in recent, since really 2023, where I feel like that was the year that changed everything. But this looks a lot. This looks really good. I mean, watching it again, it has so many Resident Evil type tropes in it. But this house he goes into reminds me of the house from RE7, even though I don't know RE7 that well, but I remember being in the house that was like really dirty and grubby. Yo, what's going on with you, Noah Bull? Were you sad last weekend when I wasn't here? I was at the Comic Expo. Have you seen the new trailer for this yet? Wow. Yeah, I'm in the middle. I was like editing type of a breakdown of this trailer. But now here I am. If I put that on 1440p, will that run shittier? This part here, you can see somebody in the window, like for a second, but it's hard to, you can't really make out who it is, obviously. There's somebody right there. Whoa. This is making me think this movie doesn't take place in modern, like current contemporary times. This guy doesn't have a cell phone. Or maybe he did because he said he got cut off, but I have a feeling this takes place like in a time where where cell phones run around. But it could just be that this house looks really old.
Yes, we're sorry.
I don't know what number he just called. Was it 911? No. He thinks, I don't know, that part's kind of dumb. It's like, oh wait, I should probably call my girlfriend because I might die soon. He's just like, oh, okay. Wait, what? There's an exclusive trailer breakdown with Zach Krager himself. Holy shit.
This is for sure, bar none, my most visually.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this. Die soon. He's just like, oh, okay. Wait, what? There's an exclusive trailer breakdown with Zach Krager himself. Holy shit.
This is for sure, bar none, my most visually.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this. Yeah, I mean, I don't like IGN at all anymore, but this could be spoiling it for me or for other people, but this looks like an interesting thing to watch, so let's see what he has to say.
Gonzo movie. All right, I'm Zach Krager. This is the teaser for Resident Evil, which is coming out September 18th. Okay, so basically, my rule for this movie was to just try and make a movie that felt like my experience of playing the games, that could live in the world of Resident Evil. So this, I feel like this movie takes place alongside the events of Resident Evil 2. I like to think that, everything that's going on in the police station could be happening in this world. This is just another dude on another mission on the other side of town, and like what's going on with him.
So that's kind of a big reveal right there. He's straight up saying that, yeah, this is basically like RE2, and I love RE2. RE2 is so awesome. I think it's probably my favorite though. 2 and 4. I mean, who doesn't love 4?
So yeah, I mean, it's not canon in that I'm not using the characters, but it's canon in that it lives in the actual, day.
So does that mean it takes place in 1998? Because that's when the second game came out, I believe, 2 years after the first. So does that confirm what I just thought? So that could be confirming what I just said about it taking place, in the 90s, or a time when cell phones weren't so prevalent.
Of reckoning and Raccoon City. So this movie follows the characters. He's outside of Raccoon City. And he's got to get into the center of it, and we're kind of with him as he goes through this gauntlet of set pieces. He gets deeper and deeper into town, and so what I love about the games is that every set piece brings with it unique new horrors. And so I wanted the rhythm to feel like it was always changing, it was always shifting. You were always facing increasingly bigger dangers, and you had to be aware of resource management and health and things like that. So I really did use a lot of cues from the games on how to build this thing out. And so it's a love letter to the games, which I fully obsessively love. All right, so one of the things that I love about Resident Evil is the graduation from gun to gun to gun. So you can see in the first shot here, he's got a pistol.
He's like literally breaking down his own trailer. It's almost like, why do I need to make a breakdown video now? He's like straight up telling us everything that we need to know.
That's the first weapon that he acquires. As he progresses, he'll graduate to the shotgun, and then
in that drawer, though, there's like a camera there, and it makes me think, does that camera mean anything?
That he acquires as he progresses.
The camera, tells you, essentially... Yeah, I can't read the brand name on it, but... Tootsie Roll. Nice.
Graduate to the shotgun, and then ultimately he'll get an MP5. That's one of the fun things about playing these games, is whenever you get the new weapon, you're like, oh, fucking thank God. Thank God. And so his character kind of has that reaction as he does it. A lot of this movie is like third person, so there's a Steadicam following Austin, our actor, and it was really a dance between him and our camera operator. So, when I had a really wide lens and we're kind of over his shoulder, and so when he looks left, we like pivot around to look left, and when he looks right, we swing around and look right. So I really try to incorporate just the visual language of the games into the movie. There's also, a fair amount of first person shooter stuff in this movie that is, the games utilize sometimes, but really just like you're behind the character, and when they look right, you look right. When they look up, you look up, and just letting that be the most common visual language of the movie, I should say, is very much from the games. This is for sure, bar none, my most visually gonzo movie, by far. The great thing about how I like to play Resident Evil, especially the first time I play one of the games, I like to go really slow through the world and just kind of drink it in and try and immerse myself. I'm pretending I'm there, like we all probably do when we play games. So Austin is our main character, Brian, I should say. He's moving slowly through this world. So if you've seen any of my other movies, I like to kind of like creep through these dreadful spaces, and Resident Evil is like the perfect playground for a guy like me who likes to just, really take his time turning down a hallway, opening a door, waiting for that jack-in-the-box moment. And so that's kind of what Austin's doing here, is he finds this abandoned farmhouse. I was a massive fan of Austin after working on Weapons, and I'm a bigger fan of him after making Resident Evil with him. He's so fascinating. He's the perfect avatar for the viewer. And what I wanted to do a Resident Evil movie where you're not following a badass with military training. You're following your average gamer like me. Like if I was thrust into a Resident Evil game, I would be terrified, and I would be missing 95% of the shots I took.
That's a good point. I don't think in any of the Resident Evil games you just play a regular person. You always play a cop or someone with military experience. Okay, just want to make sure.
I have to learn the guns as I go, because I've played with an MP5, for however many thousands of hours playing video games. But if I have one in my hand, I'm like, where's the safety? How does this work? And so I think it's just kind of fun to be following somebody with no no combat experience whatsoever as they're, walking through hell with a machine gun. What he's carrying is important, and he doesn't know the whole picture when he accepts the job of what he's been tasked with. And Austin is just kind of this like perfect, very lovable, but by no means badass guy. And his reactions to the horrors is just I love it. I love it.
And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
I just really love the idea of like you're moving through a sewer, you have no idea what's in front of you, and you come around a corner and you see a gigantic, obese, naked, hairless man just sitting facing you. It's like, to me, it's just like what is about to go down. I like the question there, and what does go down, I am also pretty happy with. Honestly, it's like part of the inspiration for the look of this guy comes from the book Blood Meridian. There's a character called the Judge in that book who's described as like a.
He reminds me of the character from Dune, played by Stellan Skarsgård. That's what it reminds me of. I forget their name.
7 foot tall, maybe albino, hairless man, and I love the image of that guy. And so this is just my little nod to one of my favorite books of all time. And it's also, it's like I don't have a nemesis in this movie, that the games use, which is like this gigantic hulking, Terminator that's following you. But this is also like a little bit of a nod to the.
Is this really happening? Is anybody here to watch this? I don't understand what's happening. Suspended. So what do I gotta do? Stream suspended? How the fuck does the stream get suspended? Stream suspended? By what? I wasn't watching anything licensed. Stream suspended? What? Wait, what? I think it's the gun thing. Shit. What the fuck?